College administrators, are you overwhelmed by the AI buzz? I'm going to help you decode Gartner's latest insights for smart, quick, and decisive action. All right, so first off, generative AI is a technology that's creating waves across industries, and that's including higher education. So let's go over Gartner's 2024 hype cycle for AI. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. So, generative AI is kind of past the peak of inflated expectations. So, what exactly does that mean? That means that while there's a lot of excitement and potential, there's also some unrealistic projections about it, okay? So Gartner rates it as transformational with the potential to enable businesses to do awesome new things, but there's also some challenges, including the need for proper governance, potential hallucinations, and data privacy concerns. So allow me to navigate through this hype cycle with you guys, okay? So again, we're kind of here, and there's still a long path to go here, okay? But let me walk through this for you. But before we get into that, you guys probably want to know who I am. So my name is Ahir Chatterjee. I left my software development job at Amazon to become an AI strategist for higher education. I've worked with over 40 faculty and administrators across 17 different universities, and my company, Tailored Tutor, has run an AI course assistant pilot multiple pilots in multiple departments at UT Austin, impacting hundreds of students. Okay, so with that out of the way, why don't we go ahead and move on to generative AI over here? Okay, so like we said, Gartner has rated it as transformational, so it's definitely going to be impacting our industries. And we know that about 20 to 50% of the market's already using it. So if you're an institution and you're not using it yet, you probably need to be thinking about how you're going to do this, okay? Though luckily we're still at the adolescent stage, so some universities are using it, but they're not finding much success with it. Let's talk about why that is in just a moment, okay? But first off, let's talk about my experience, okay? So in working with universities, generative AI really is a game changer. It's really transformational, but there's some implementation details you have to be careful about when you go through them. Let's talk about what we've seen in our pilots, okay? So we've seen really great results using AI course assistants. So in a 2-week pilot in a large section, 450 students of Organic Chemistry 2, our AI helped students understand complex reaction mechanisms, okay? And it uses a Socratic method to actually ask questions back to them and make sure they can't shortcut the learning process. So when we just kind of put this out there for them to use, we didn't make it mandatory at all. 41% of the class voluntarily used it, which is way more than students who come to office hours for help. And then 84% of those students stated, yeah, this helped me learn. So great, okay? So we know it can be very beneficial, but it's not without its challenges, okay? Many decision makers I've worked with are rightfully concerned about hallucinations, okay? This is one of the biggest obstacles that Gartner talks about. And the way we address this is by integrating course materials from that class, right? Your faculty, they're the subject matter experts. So use their course materials, give those to your AI assistants, and that will lead to more accurate responses, okay? Now you can do this by using RAG, okay? Now they don't really talk about this here. I guess they talk about with composite AI approaches to combine GenAI with other techniques. I mean, not really, okay. But yeah, this is kind of going away from Gartner. RAG is retrieval augmented generation, which sounds really complex, but I promise you it isn't. What really is happening is you're breaking down the course materials from your faculty into these digestible chunks of additional context for AI assistants to use. For example, this could just be, hey, here's like a coding assignment, right? Or here's how you do these organic chemistry reactions, okay? Now you can use those as sources of truth for your AI assistant to now show your students and use that to guide the students, okay? And if you add what we call citations into this, okay, citations are where you basically cite the source from the RAG document. So you basically say, hey, according to this document, this is what I'm seeing. Now your students can be a lot more confident that that AI system is working for them and it's not just producing some hallucinations or garbage outputs, okay? This is great, but it produces another security concern, which is that if you're putting your university data in there, you need a SOC 2 compliant vendor who understands kind of the needs of an enterprise. So that's my one recommendation to you guys is make sure that the people you're working with understand the needs and privacy of your data, okay? So That was kind of a freebie in terms of actionable insights. I want to give you guys 3 more for free, okay? So for university leaders looking to leverage these kind of generative AI systems, here's the 3 key steps I think you guys need to know, okay? And let's go straight into this one from Gartner. When you talk about what's going on here, you need to really understand that a lot of the success you're seeing is from these aggressive experiences with generative AI. Okay, that's what early adopters are doing, and that's how they're finding their initial success. Okay, so if you're going to do this, you got to start small with some pilots in a controlled environment, but you got to go fast. Okay, you want to be trying and iterating and failing. Right, failing is just figuring out something that didn't work for you, okay? But then it lets you explore other things that might work, okay? So allow yourself to move fast. And the way you're going to be able to do this, the only way I think you're going to be able to do this is to get your developers on board, okay? So this is number 2. You got to get involvement from your campus, is starting from your developers. Get them on board, because even when I worked at Amazon, okay, we got some great software engineers there. Pretty much everyone I worked with was a better software engineer than me. And the adoption of this technology was still very slow. You have to be different. You have to be thinking different if you want to set yourself apart from your competition. Okay, you got to empower your developers to unlock more productivity with generative AI, and then with the right architecture that they build, now they can iterate fast and build new, useful demos every term. And those demos are how you get even the most, what's the right term? I guess the faculty who never want to adopt new technology, right? You can't even get them on a learning management system. How are you going to get them on generative AI? Well, if you just show them what it can do for them, you'd be surprised how many of them say, "Oh my God, this is going to be a lifesaver for me. It's going to save me hours every week," okay? Well, maybe an hour every week. I don't want to set your expectations up here and then not deliver. So at least an hour every week. Okay, it's seriously. That's exactly what our course tutors do, because now instead of getting the same 5 emails and having to walk students through it on like a Piazza board or through Canvas messages, emails, whatever, right? Now you actually have an AI assistant that can help students with these questions. Or if they can't make it to office hours, they can do that. Anyways, getting ahead of myself. Show your faculty these demos, okay? That's how you're going to get their buy-in. And number 3, you really have to quantify the advantages that you can get from these systems, okay? So you have to show people what can happen, but then you also got to talk about the limitations, okay? It's super important to not oversell this thing, because you have to set realistic expectations with your staff, with your faculty, and very importantly, your students too. They need to understand that if there's a student-facing system, they've got to understand how this can help them, but also how they need to be using it responsibly and thinking through it, because it's not just a giving you the solution kind of answer. You've got to fact check it sometimes, right? You've got to understand, when is this producing good outputs for me? Okay. Finally, I'm going to give you one last tidbit is, remember, the goal is not to replace human expertise, okay? It's to augment and enhance it. Use generative AI to free up time from all the busy work you don't want to do to make more time for the meaningful interactions and deeper learning experiences that you actually care about, okay? So anyways, if you guys found these insights valuable, please give this video a like, okay? Follow me for more AI strategies in higher education too. I'll be making videos like this pretty much every day. Then share your thoughts and questions in the comments, please. I'd love to hear your perspective, and I promise I'll respond to them. And if you know a colleague who could benefit from this information, please share this video with them. Together, we can all drive AI innovation in universities. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.